Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be diving into the world of text-to-image models.
Really fascinating stuff.
Yeah, you sent over some really intriguing snippets from that Wikipedia article,
Yeah.
and I'm really excited to unpack all of this with you.
Yeah, it's a field that's really exploded recently, and for good reason. We'll be exploring not just how these models work, but how they came about
Okay.
and what they mean for the future of, well, pretty much everything visual.
Okay, that's a great place to start. So for anyone just tuning in, let's demystify this a bit. What exactly is a text-image model?
At its core, it's a type of artificial intelligence that can transform written descriptions into visual representations.
Okay.
You feed it words, and it spits out pictures.
So if I typed in a raccoon wearing roller skates and chasing a hot dog down the street,
Right.
I'd actually get an image of that.
You absolutely would. And depending on the model, the level of detail and realism might completely blow your mind. It's like having a super-powered art assistant who can interpret even the wildest ideas.
That's kind of what blows my mind about all of this. Like,
Right.
even attempting this before AI just seems so, like, such a hurdle.
It's wild.
Were there even early versions of this? Or was it just impossible?
You're right, it wasn't always so sophisticated. Before deep learning, imagine trying to create images from text using only clip art.
Yeah.
Very rudimentary.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It would be limited to whatever already existed, right?
Totally.
Not much room for creativity. So when did we make that leap into true text-to-image models?
2015 was a pivotal year. That's when Align Draw, the first true text-to-image model, came onto the scene.
Wow.
Yeah, this was monumental because it marked the first time a machine could take a textual description and generate a corresponding image from scratch.
The very first. That's huge.
Huge.
But I'm guessing those early images were a bit pixelated.
You're not wrong. They were low resolution, only 32 by 32 pixels.
Oh, wow.
So compared to what we have now, it's like comparing cave paintings to high-definition photographs.
Quite the leap. So how did we go from those early attempts to the almost photorealistic images we see today?
Well, the development of generative adversarial networks, or GANs, in 2016 played a crucial role.
GANs.
Yeah.
I've heard that term thrown around a lot. What makes them so important?
Imagine two AI models
Okay.
in a constant back and forth.
Okay.
One is like a forger trying to create a realistic painting. The other is a detective trying to spot the fake.
Okay.
This competition pushes both to get better and better, leading to incredibly realistic images.
That's an interesting way to think about it.
Yeah.
So it's like a constant refinement process.
Exactly. This, along with other advancements like access to massive data sets and improved algorithms, really propelled the field forward.
Okay.
It's the combination of all these elements that allowed for the explosion in realism we've seen.
Okay, so we have GANs, better algorithms, and a ton more data for these models to learn from. Things are starting to come together.
Right.
This brings us to the 2020s, which is when things really exploded, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
2021 and 2022 saw some game-changing models hit the scene, like DALL-E.
DALL-E! That thing was everywhere. What made it so groundbreaking?
It really captured the public's imagination. DALL-E was able to generate high-quality, surprisingly creative images from even the most complex and strange text descriptions. People were blown away by the possibilities.
Yeah, it seems like every other week, there's a new model pushing the boundaries even further.
Totally.
Wasn't there another big one around the same time, Stable Diffusion?
Yes. Stable Diffusion was a game-changer in terms of accessibility.
Okay.
Released in August of 2022, it was open source, meaning anyone with a decent computer can start using it.
That's a huge difference. Before that, it seemed like only researchers and big tech companies had access to this kind of technology.
It was a turning point, really. It democratized AI art generation.
Yeah.
And led to an outpouring of creativity from unexpected places. Suddenly, everyday people could explore the potential of these models.
It's like the difference between needing a professional recording studio and being able to make music on your laptop.
Exactly, yeah.
But I have to ask, how do these models actually work? It all seems a bit like magic.
It's definitely a blend of art and science, but let me break it down for you. Imagine you're describing a dream you had to an artist.
Okay.
They need to first understand your words, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. They're kind of listening to the text prompt, so to speak.
Exactly. That's the first step, text encoding.
Okay.
The model is basically trying to comprehend the meaning and intent behind your words.
Okay, so the model hears the words. What happens next?
Next, they probably create a mental picture based on your description, right?
Yeah.
That's essentially what the model does in the second step. latent representation.
Okay.
It translates your words into its own internal abstract understanding.
So it's like the model is creating a blueprint based on the words.
Yes,
Okay.
a set of instructions that it can then use to build the image.
Got
Yep. And the final stage, image generation, is where the model uses that blueprint to actually create the image pixel by pixel.
So from words to an internal representation,
Right.
and finally to a finished image.
Exactly.
That's fascinating.
The technology behind it is incredibly complex, but that's the beauty of a deep dive like this. We get to peel back the layers and appreciate both the simplicity of the concept and the incredible power behind it.
Yeah, it is amazing how something so complex can be broken down into these kind of digestible steps.
Right.
Okay, we've covered what text-to-image models are,
Mhm.
how they evolved from those early pixelated attempts,
Right.
and we even got a simplified peek under the hood at how they work. But what does it all mean? Where does this all go from here?
That's the really exciting part because this technology has implications for just about every field you can imagine.
It's like we're on the cusp of a whole new era of visual creation.
Totally.
But I'm curious about the specifics. What are some concrete examples of how text-to-image AI could change things?
Well, imagine a world where instead of searching for the perfect stock photo,
Right.
you can simply type in a description and have a unique royalty-free image generated instantly. That's already becoming a reality.
So no more scrolling through endless pages of generic photos.
Yeah.
That's a game changer for anyone who works with visuals.
Absolutely. And it goes beyond just convenience. Imagine the power this gives to architects, for example. They could quickly generate visualizations of different design concepts from simple text descriptions, speeding up the design process and allowing for more creative exploration.
Yeah, it's like giving them a digital sketching tool
Totally.
that's limited only by their imagination.
Right.
No more clunky 3D modeling software
Yeah.
or hours spent hand-drawing blueprints.
Exactly. And think about the impact on filmmaking. Instead of relying on expensive CGI and green screens, filmmakers could potentially create entire worlds and characters from textual descriptions.
That would fundamentally change the way stories are told visually. It would be like bringing a screenwriter's words directly to life on screen.
Precisely. And it's not just about these big flashy applications. Think about education. Imagine students being able to generate visualizations of complex scientific concepts or historical events,
Okay.
making learning more engaging and accessible.
It's like having a personal tutor who can create custom visual aids to
Exactly.
help you understand any topic.
Yeah,
It could revolutionize the way we learn.
totally.
Wow.
And consider the possibilities in fields like advertising and marketing. Imagine creating highly personalized campaigns
Okay.
with visuals tailored to each individual viewer's preferences.
That's really interesting because it touches on the idea of hyper-personalization.
Right.
It's like having an ad agency that can create a unique campaign specifically for you.
Totally. And let's not forget about the potential impact on the art world itself. We're already seeing AI-generated art being featured in galleries and sold at auctions. This raises fascinating questions about the nature of art, creativity, and the role of the artist in the age of AI.
It really challenges our traditional notions of what it means to be an artist.
Right.
If a machine can create a masterpiece from a text prompt,
Yeah.
where does that leave human artists?
It's a question that artists and critics are grappling with, and there are no easy answers. But what's clear is that text-to-image AI is a disruptive force that's pushing the boundaries of creative expression in ways we're only beginning to understand.
It sounds like this technology has the potential to shake up so many industries.
Yeah.
But I imagine there are challenges too, right? Like, what about the potential for misuse?
You're right, it's crucial to address the potential downsides as well.
Yeah.
With any powerful technology, there's always the risk of misuse.
So what are some of the concerns surrounding text-to-image models?
One major concern is the potential to create misleading or even harmful content.
Okay.
Imagine someone using these tools to create fake images that could damage someone's reputation or spread misinformation.
Yeah, it's a reminder that while this technology is incredibly powerful,
Right.
it's still a tool. And like any tool,
Totally.
it can be used for good or for ill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why it's crucial to have open discussions about the ethical implications of this technology and to develop safeguards against potential misuse.
Yeah, it's like the old saying, with great power comes great responsibility.
Right.
We need to make sure this technology is used responsibly and ethically.
Absolutely. It's not just about the technology itself,
Right.
but about how we choose to use it.
Yeah.
And that requires careful consideration, open dialogue, and a commitment to using this technology for the betterment of society.
So it's a collective responsibility to ensure that this technology is used for good.
Yes.
We need to be aware of the potential risks while also embracing the incredible opportunities it presents.
Precisely. It's about finding that balance between progress and responsibility.
Yeah.
Now, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's revisit those early text-to-image models for a second.
Oh.
Do you remember that stop sign in the blue skies prompt we talked about earlier?
Oh, yeah, the one that even a line draw was able to generate an image from, despite its limitations.
Right.
You said those early images were quite rudimentary.
Oh, yeah.
What would something like DALL-E 2 create from that same prompt?
Well, with DALL-E 2, you'd be looking at a very different image. Instead of a blurry, pixelated shape, imagine a hyper-realistic stop sign,
Oh, okay.
maybe with chipped paint and rust,
Okay.
set against a backdrop of vibrant blue sky with fluffy white clouds.
Wow, that's quite a difference. You can actually picture it as a real photo.
And that's just scratching the surface. DALL-E 2 might even add subtle details, like a bird perched on top of the sign or a plane soaring through the clouds.
It's incredible how far this technology has come in such a short time.
I know, right?
Those early models were like taking baby steps, and now we have models capable of creating images that are almost indistinguishable from reality.
It really highlights the rapid pace of progress in this field. And it's important to remember, this is just the beginning.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential applications, the risks, and the remarkable progress that's been made.
Right.
But I have to ask, why should all of this matter to the average person who might not be an artist or a tech enthusiast? How will text-to-image AI impact our daily lives?
That's a great question. It's easy to think of this as something that only impacts certain industries. But the reality is that this technology has the potential to touch every aspect of our lives, even if we don't realize it.
Give me some examples. How will we see this technology kind of like seeping into our everyday experiences?
Well, for one, imagine scrolling through your social media feed and seeing personalized ads, but the images are generated just for you,
Okay.
based on your interests and preferences.
That's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. It's
Right.
like having a personal graphic designer for every ad you see.
Exactly. And that level of personalization can extend far beyond advertising. Think about online shopping. What if you could see what a piece of furniture would look like in your living room?
Oh, wow.
Or try on clothes virtually with images generated in real time based on your body type and the lighting in your room.
Okay, now that would be a game changer for online shopping.
Right.
No more guessing how something will actually look or fit.
Exactly. And it goes even further. Imagine reading a news article where the images adapt and change based on your reading comprehension or personal interests.
Okay.
Or think about the power this could have in education, creating immersive learning experiences tailored to each student's needs.
It's like the evolution of personalized learning, taking it to a whole new level.
Absolutely. This technology has the potential to break down so many barriers, making information and experiences more accessible and engaging for everyone. It's not just about creating pretty pictures.
Right.
It's about using AI to enhance communication, understanding, and creativity across all areas of life.
We've talked about the impact on creative fields, marketing, education, even shopping. But what about something like healthcare? Any potential there?
Absolutely. This technology is already being used to help doctors diagnose diseases earlier and more accurately by analyzing medical images. We're also seeing it used to create realistic simulations for surgical training and even to develop new prosthetic limbs that are more responsive and intuitive.
It's amazing to think that something that started with blurry, pixelated images could have such a profound impact on something as critical as healthcare.
It really speaks to the transformative power of technology, especially when it comes to artificial intelligence. We're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
So from creating personalized ads to revolutionizing healthcare, it seems like there's really no limit to how text-to-image AI could shape the future. It's both exciting and a little bit daunting to think about all the possibilities.
It's definitely a time of rapid change and incredible potential. It'll be fascinating to see how this technology continues to evolve and what new creative frontiers it opens up in the years to come.
It sounds like we'll be needing many more deep dives to keep up with it all. But for now, that wraps up our exploration of text-to-image models. It's been quite a journey from those early pixelated images to today's mind-blowing creations.
Indeed, it's a testament to human ingenuity and the power of technology to constantly push the boundaries of what's possible.
I think we can all agree that we're witnessing a new era of visual creativity, and it's an exciting time to be along for the ride. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.